Welcome back to TV5 News at 9. It's time for Aging in Style with American Retirement Advisors. Joining us this morning is President and owner Joe Vitale. So Joe, thank you so much for calling in with us this morning.
Welcome. Good morning. Good to see you, Sierra. How are you doing?
Good. How are you today?
Good. Doing good.
Good. So Joe, you're always here giving us the important information that we need on retirement. But if you at home want to hear more from Joe, be sure to grab your phone and scan the QR code that you see on your screen to subscribe to his newsletter that's called Financial Vitals, where you can stay tuned in and see the latest in financial news and market updates. All right, Joe, so now on to our topic for today. It's protecting your money in your retirement, which is something that I think is on a lot of people's minds, especially with the way our economy is now. So how is working with a fiduciary different, and why is that so important?
You know, you would hope that, when you're working with a financial advisor, that they have your best interest at mind. And that's where a lot of people say, oh my gosh, I'm working with this advisor. Yeah, he's suggesting or she's suggesting all this. But if they're not a fiduciary has to do is they have to put your interests ahead of their own. We have a fiducial obligation to basically do what's in your best interest and to make sure we disclose how we're being paid, where not everyone has to do that. They may be recommending these annuities or these brokerage accounts or these mutual funds, and you don't know what the fees are, or it's in the prospectus, or it's in this, and you really don't know what you're paying. So the difference with a fiduciary is we basically say, this is what we're being paid, this is why we're suggesting this is how we're being paid, and there's a full disclosure. And so everything we recommend is with, is yes, we're going to get paid, don't get me wrong, but at the same token, you'll know what, where, how, and why we're recommending certain products. And our whole goal is to make sure we take, the best care of you, which is, why we want to make everybody happy and do the right job for them.
All right, Joe, so you guys do something called holistic planning, and does everyone do that? So tell me what that is.
Being a holistic planner is we look for everything. I want to make sure that their long-term care is taken care of, that, heaven forbid a nursing home or an assisted living happens, we want to make sure that we have them protected. We look at tax strategies. A lot of advisors or brokers, they can't talk tax at all. Oh, we don't do any tax planning. Well, we're not accountants or CPAs, of course, but we work with accountants and CPAs, and we make sure that we're looking at the best possible way to save money on taxes. We're looking at what their tax brackets are going to be now in retirement in the next 20 years. And we're looking ahead. We're not just doing a microeconomic approach where we're trying to look at saving taxes or their income in 1 year. We're looking at the macro approach. We're looking over 20, 30, 40 years and making sure that we're going to be able to save taxes all the way through. We've got their long-term care taken care of. We've got their estate planning needs taken care of, and their income. So it's not just, hey, let me put you in this one product and you're good to go. No, we're looking at the whole approach, income, taxes, savings, estate, everything, making sure the whole person is taken care of.
So Joe, answer me this. A lot of times when people think of retirement, especially, younger people in their 20s, they'll think, oh, I have my whole life to figure that stuff out. It's never too early, is it?
It's never too early. No, it's always good to get started with a good program right away. Just get the disciplined approach, start putting it away, let the time value of money start working for you. Then it makes our jobs a lot easier and takes a lot of stress off the table when you get to retirement.
Yeah, it does. So how do you determine income needs and health insurance needs in retirement?
It all depends. A lot of people, they have in mind, oh my gosh, I need $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, or I need 100,000 or 50,000 or 200,000 a year to live on. If you have a lot of debt coming over into retirement, you still have house payments and car payments, you're going to need more money. But we love to try to get rid of as much debt as possible when you get into retirement. That really takes the stress off and you can live. One of the things is how much money everybody has their own personal ideas. And a lot of retirees end up leaving money to their heirs, which is great. But at the same token, more and more of our clients, they're saying, Joe, I don't care. My kids are going to be fine. I want to make sure that I can do what I got to do in retirement. And so our whole job is to say, make sure while you're healthy, while you're able to travel, while you're able to do things, my goodness, please, let's go do them. Don't, go take advantage of it. Don't wait, because then it could be too late. So part of the income needs and what we look at is we look at trying to make sure they have enough money coming in every year that they can take those trips. The other part is what about the health insurance? If they have too much income, some people say, I got to wait till 65 because I don't want to, I have to get my Medicare and I can't retire sooner. But if you can keep your income lower under a certain threshold, then you actually qualify for the subsidies in the marketplace, and you can still get health insurance. We're pretty reasonable. But that's where we look at the income needs is trying to make sure we have the right pockets of money to pull income from so that we're not thrown over and have more of a cost than we need to in retirement. So again, every personal situation is different.
And you know what, Joe, investing in your retirement isn't something that's just for people of a certain socioeconomic background, or if you make over 6 figures, or if you make $50,000. This is for wherever you work, however much money you have, right?
Absolutely true. I mean, everybody, I remember this was 25, 30 years ago. I was working at this one place, probably over 30 years ago now. And they had a great 401k strategy, and everybody was making a decent wage, not a ton of money, but they were putting 6% in their 401k, and the company would match 6%. And I remember telling this, a friend of mine says, hey, how much are you putting in your 401k? You got to max that. That's free money. I'm not going to give them my money. I'm like, wait a minute, you're not giving them. This is your money. They're giving you 6% free or 3% free. I don't care if you're making 30,000, 50,000, 20,000, whatever you can. Do not let go of that free money that they're giving you, because people today now, 30, 40 years later, are having $500,000 to $1 million in their retirement programs, and they didn't even realize it just because of the time value of money. Every week, every 2 weeks, putting that money away. So everybody can have a decent retirement. It's really, we can do it. We just have to get to the disciplined approach for sure.
And Joe, while we're still on the topic of, planning for your future, when you're planning for your estate, do you need a trust, or is a will just enough?
Remember, a will have to go through probate to be proved. So a will, people say, oh, I got my will, I'm okay. Well, that's great. Guess who gets to decide who gets what? The court does. Yes, you put what you want to see happen, but it has to go through the court to be proven. So we're big fans of a trust, and we know Carol Thomas is one of the best attorneys in the area right here in Saginaw. So we love to work with Carol. She does a great job. Her and Jim and Darren, they do wonderful work for families. And the trust, for the cost, it is such a deal because you're going to be able to make sure your house goes through probate properly. Your assets are probably going through probate, or bypass probate. So make sure that we don't have to go through the probate system if we can help it. And they make sure the powers of attorney are done properly, the trust is done, the pour-over is done, so everything is done properly. I'm not an attorney, so I can't give advice, but I make sure that we work with Carol to make sure that everything is done the right way. And it's great. I mean, it's just such a way to work. You definitely want to look into that.
Okay, so what is the best way to withdraw or maximize funds to minimize taxes? Is it smart to use your IRA, or how should you go about doing that?
And we have that QR code as well that we can put up. And that's one that we talk about. What is your tax bill in retirement going to look like? We can calculate what that is, because a lot of people have $1 million or $500,000 or $300,000 IRA, and nobody wants to pay tax on it. But if you don't, and it just keep kicking that can down the road, you could pay a lot more in taxes. So we like to look at efficient ways. We look at the tax bracket, again, part of being a holistic planner. We look at the tax brackets and make sure that we can keep them in certain tax brackets all the way through and not straddle it or go into the next one. So we look at efficient ways. Part of it is doing Roth conversions. Part of it is having tax-free money to pull from. And not everybody has a tax-free bucket. And my gosh, a big expense comes up, and now you're paying tax on your Social Security, and you didn't think you had to, but because you didn't plan properly, now you got to pay tax on that. So we're looking at great ways to do it. We're looking at having tax-free buckets of money, different strategies for that, whether Roth or Roth conversion or other strategies that we use. So those are all things that we definitely want to build that plan. And when we build it, you have to have that emergency fund available so that your Social Security doesn't have to get taxed. And you look at the new tax strategies, just the new budgets being proposed right now, and you're looking at taxes going up. So we see that capital gains are going up, and all of a sudden in retirement, people could get hit with these tax bills that they don't realize. So it's part of our job to make sure that we look ahead, we look at the best ways. So if we do the proper planning now, down the road, with our clients don't have to get nailed with taxes and can make sure that they can have a good tax efficient retirement. We're all going to pay taxes, but my goodness, we don't need to pay more than we need to.
Exactly. All right, Joe, we thank you so much for being here with us today. Is there anything else that you wanted to add before we let you go?
Nope, just check out, if you want to get that calculator, let us know. If it doesn't work, just give us a call. We'll send you to the right direction and we'll get that report for you. We also have the Holistic Retirement Plan, a book that we can always send out. So if anybody would like that, feel free to reach out to us. And, we're here to help. So
all right, Joe, thank you. It's always a pleasure. Thank you. All right, so Joe, again, thank you for the latest financial news and market updates. Be sure to subscribe to Joe's newsletter, Financial Vitals. And if you want more information on today's topic, all you have to do, go over to our website. Go to Aging in Style. That's a page on WNEM.com.